Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. Get that bell notification on too so you don't miss out on an episode. Welcome back to the channel where last time we were here, we were building ski slopes out in the Castle Mountain area. And I am really looking forward to continuing building out that way. But that is not where we are building today, because in today's episode, we're going to be expanding the metro lines out in the original part of the city. So it's been a long time since we've been out that way. And why are we doing this? Well, I am planning to do a live stream after the time I'm recording this. I'm not sure when this video is coming out, so it may be after the live stream. So I'm building in a different location, but a shorter episode as well, just focusing on metro expansion, because I really wanted to make a video for you all, but you know, with the live stream schedules and stuff, it sometimes doesn't really line up that we get full continuity. Let's hop out and take a look at where we built last episode. And yeah, so this is the ski slope area in Castle Mountain, and you know, just using trees is the way to build the ski slopes. And I've received some awesome feedback regarding the road that we ran through here, and the trick with the pedestrian paths or the pedestrian zones to make sure that you don't necessarily need the roads. So that's something I'm definitely going to amend during the live stream. But yeah, here's Castle Mountain. It's awesome. I really like this town. The town's really cool. It's got a really unique little mix, and I love the slopes that we've kind of added in, the curves on top of the simple grid that we've added. And yeah, I really like this town. But we're gonna be building on a completely opposite side of the map. So we follow this road, we hit our downtown, and we get to our original little city here. And we're gonna go right over to our stadium area in Pride Promenade. And we have a metro line right here. Now this metro line goes from here down through the city, connects up right in the core of Old Port Roberts, and then it comes across the river here where it meets up with Northminster City and everything like that. Let's do this view. It's a lot nicer. And in Northminster City, we have other metro lines. Now that metro line originally will continue out this way, but we're not building out over here yet because we're going to be focusing out over here. So why over here? Well, it's been a long time since we built out this way, and it's just unfinished, especially over here. So I really want to get going on that, just kind of completing it. And I have an ulterior motive to it, which I'll explain to you in a little bit. But we have the metro line right here, and it just kind of dead ends at the stadium district, which is fine. But it could be better. We could add an extension to the metro line and get some cool neighborhoods. So we have this spot over here, which could be a really neat neighborhood. So if we just extend the metro line right underneath here, that would be awesome. We have a really awesome connection into a future neighborhood. And it is such a prime location right beside the metro. Tons of fun. But it's also really close to the downtown. It would only be like 3 stops away from the downtown of the city. So if we get a metro line in here, we can run some buses to it from this neighborhood. Bada bing, bada boom, you know? There we go. And then we'll just bring the metro across over here utilizing current right-of-ways, and we'll connect over here to get another metro stop. Now this metro stop will be very useful because we have a ton of residential over here, but also blank spots which we can fill up with some transit-oriented development, which is something we might actually do today. And then we will be elevated at that point, where we can then bring it over here. And why over here? Well, we have a really unique opportunity to connect up with this metro, or with this rail line, but there's a ton of open space. And I was thinking that we could add in a large feature over here, which we'll talk about in a bit. Can't give it all away. But then from that point, we could continue that metro out potentially over here, where we have one of our 2 potential airports. So I'm comfortable ending the metro right here at this large feature, which I'll share in a minute. But also it'll make it for a really easy connection to continue the metro along the rail right-of-way to a future airport. Now we do have another spot for the airport over here, which is a spot that I'm more likely leaning towards using. So it would be really awesome to have the potential to build an airport out this way. Maybe it's a secondary airport or something, in which case we could choose to whether or not we wanted to extend the metro. So that's the plan for the day, extending the metro out into Dexter and Upper Oracle Lake, and then over to here to our secret little project. So we have our awesome metro connection in here, and it just dead ends right here. This is such a powerful metro station in such an awesome spot. We have a bus hub here. We have our SkyTrain running through this area, which runs all the way over into these zones over here. But then it also runs into this populated part of Oracle Lake and around. So this is a really main cross junction. We also have our one of our main regional train networks, which, holy cow, look at the people using this. Oops, I guess it's been a little while since I've updated things. Let's see. Yeah, no, that's a train to leave the city. I don't even know if we have any train stops actually stopping here. No, we don't. These are all express trains that we've run from different spots, except for this green train line. So let's take a look at what this green train is doing. And if we go to our train lines, which is right here, we have one that is green, and it's Oracle Valley, which I'm not sure where it runs exactly. It just runs downtown. Oh, there's a couple stops. So we have one downtown. We have one, over in Hope. Okay. And then one over here, and then another one back in Hope. Okay. Interesting. So it is not what's clogging things up, but I will add another train or two. So yeah, that's all people leaving the city, because we don't have, well, we do have a rail station in the downtown, but I guess this one's a bit closer to the out of bounds. Interesting. So that goes to show that people are using this transit hub. So if we can filter more people into here, that would be awesome. So let's go into our metro lines here. I'm just going to go underground and connect up onto this side over here. Oh, we have a bit of a traffic backup here too, which I will do. I'll fix this in a bit of a speed through momentarily. All right, there we go. It's flowing pretty smooth now. All right, so Dexter, what is the theme of Dexter? Well, Dexter's going to be likely a residential area with maybe more industry, but we have a ton of industry already. Forestry industry that we haven't really built out nicely, or industry which we haven't done the same to. But we have a cool factory over here, and we also have a really unique little junction point right over here, which needs to get other things built up around it because it's a little empty over here. So it'd be nice to kind of fill that area out. We also have our water treatment plant, but also it looks like there's some power and some recycling over here. So we need to build this area out. So as you can see, there's a need to build up Dexter. So let's get that metro line in for Dexter. What the heck? It's backing up all the way over through here now. All right, so that should fix it. That's why you always add in the lane connectors if you have TMPE. We are going to go to a ground level station here. The reason is because it's a lot cheaper to build on the ground than elevated or subterranean builds, right? So let's just find a nice simple platform. We could add a bypass to it if we have a potential airport express down the line, but otherwise, like, we can just use the basic ones. We have these ones over here. But I think there's a couple other cool ones from the workshop, from the Bridges and Piers, train stations content creator pack. That's the one. So we have this one here, modern metro terminal. Well, it doesn't need to be that big. And then the other ones are all underground, it seems. We have this one over here, small metro terminal. Oh, that's also underground. And then we have this one over here, which is not underground, it seems. Yeah, this one could be a really good option. It is something that I don't think we've actually used in the city yet, and it's a bit unique too. So let's do that. Let's figure out where these metro lines are going to need to run, because we are going to need to hop into the right-of-way of this train track. Now, normally, right-of-ways for railroad tracks are 100 feet in this part of Canada. So as 100 feet, either combined right-of-way, or it's 66 feet on either side. Don't know why it's those numbers, but it is. So I think in this case, it would be likely more of a 66 feet on either side type of right-of-way. So that would mean that we should probably build in this little corridor right here. It would also look really cool if we did that. So we are going to go elevated from that ground level to this part, and we'll stay elevated because we're going to cross the bridge, cross the highway over here again. So let's, knowing that, we can simply add in a couple of lines at an elevated position. All right, so we have our metro connection in here. It took a little bit longer, to just a few little tweaks to get the angles right, but now we have our metro connection from Pride Promenade right into here. So that's a pretty smooth connection. There's a little bit of a bump right here, which we could fix. I didn't notice that earlier. Pretty simple little bump fix. There we go. And then we have our metro line, which we can now extend technically out to here. I'll then just add the stops in on both sides. There we go. So now we have a bit more, a bit more flexibility through. This is also a bypass too, or multiple lanes. Yeah, multiple lanes. So we could add in another metro stop that just stops here, that like ends at this location too, if we want. But we really use this metro line because of how we can build a monorail right over top of it. So now that we have this in place, it's really awesome because we have two sides of this asset where people can enter and exit from. So we can easily add in some sort of connection here and maybe put like an office park or something, or a couple residential buildings. It's pretty easy to do so. And then we also have the main connection point into Dexter over here. So now that we're along this side of the right of way, pretty easy for us to kind of follow the rail. So we're going to follow the rail until about here, where we're going to get our stop. So let's go to that stop next. And I was thinking this one. I don't know if we really used it too much, which is the elevated metro stop with shops and stuff. So I was thinking that this could be a really cool addition to have out over here, because we could turn this into a bit of like a bougie area. It's already pretty ritzy with the lake. I'm sure the properties over here are very expensive, so I was thinking that it would be interesting for us to kind of include that. But you know what, I don't know though, because we have access on this side which is so cut off from this with the rail. But maybe what we could do is we could sink this down a little bit, or sink the station down a little bit, and then we could have like a pedestrian path underneath the cargo rail line, which could be interesting. And then we could have access to this side too. That would make for a unique little build. So let's do that. So let's position the metro where I think we'll need it, which I want to remain within the kind of basic right-of-way-ish line for the rail here, but also give us enough space to kind of build something around it. So I think something like this could work really well. Yeah. So let's grab this asset with move it, and we're just gonna sink it down a little bit. Not too crazy though. Kind of somewhat so that this is at ground level, I would think. but just a slightly raised, because we're then going to need to elevate over top of the rail over here. So let's grab the rail, and what we can do is just upgrade this to elevated. Whoops. There we go. Elevated right to here probably. And then what we can do is then grab our terrain tools and grab the height that we put the metro line to and bring that height all the way through here. And then now we have some pedestrian connections underneath the rail, which is pretty neat. And look at that, we can actually like eliminate a lot of this hill too. All right, so I was just kind of tweaking around with, playing around with the rails over here, and I kind of noticed that this road should probably go underneath this rail here. And why is that? Well, we had a level connection there, which is fine, but if we're going to be building up this area soon, I kind of want a stronger connection point through here. So I'm just kind of tweaking these little rails here. And then we have this being a 4-unit road over here. Then it goes down to a 2-unit road. Not a fan of that. Let's upgrade that to a basic, just painted 4-lane road. Or sorry, 4-unit road, which I guess is also 4 lanes. And then we will just continue it through here underneath. And I just wanted to make sure that this height was appropriate for the rails before we moved on, because I'm then going to need to bring the metro over top of the rail. So that's probably tall enough. Let's go down a little bit more. There we go. And then we'll just bring the sloping tool out again and smooth it out. 2.5%. That is fantastic. So since we're kind of talking about this little junction point already, let's get that elevated metro connection over top of the rails from this point. And then we can also sneak our pedestrian connection underneath too. So let's grab this. There we go. And we'll go to elevated, and we'll just go into freeform. And this will be pretty simple enough, I would think. Let's get to home here, connect up with that. Very good. And then we'll just swing right over top like this. I think that should be good. Let's go to about this point here. All right, very smooth too, which is really nice to see. And we are more than clear here. So let's just see if we have this pillar here. We need to bring this one out. So we'll swing this one back, I guess, to about there. Bring this pillar in, and let's just clean things up slightly. Okay, very good. So we have that connection point in. And now we can follow the rail for a little while with the parallel road tool. That's pretty good. So I am going to click it in, even though we're not at the right height. But that is because we can adjust the heights afterwards. So now that we have that in place, we can just connect this up really simply, like that. And then we'll go all the way over to here and we'll do the same. And now we can adjust as necessary as well. So this one needs to be definitely on a better angle of approach. So that is very good actually from that point. So let's start smoothing it out from this side, and we'll go, we'll try and get everything at the same height as the station. So let's go up a little bit. Is that pretty much elevated at the right height? Yeah, that's good. So we'll go there, and then I'll just use move it to grab all the nodes from about probably over the highway. Yeah, from about there, and we'll set them to the same height as the one we just set. There we go. That's very smooth. We're sticking along the right of way here. This is a bit bumpy on this side. Let's just clean this up by holding Alt. There we go. And then this one's a bit bumpy as well. Probably due to some node controller work that we were doing in a previous episode. Yeah, very good. And then from this point, let's smooth it out using the sloping tool. from that point all the way to this one, because this is that's the parallel road tool. My goodness. From this one, that's the one where we adjusted appropriately for the road height. And there we go. So we have these huge bumps, which we can now smooth out like that at a very clean angle. That is awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic. So it's a bit steep at the beginning, but it's not really steep. It's only 3%. And then we're very smooth all the way through here. A couple minor tweaks can be made. We have a bit of a curve there where we slide right in to the station. Awesome. So I have a couple tweaks I want to make. So we have all this buildup over here with ballast. That's fine. We can leave that the way it is on this side of the rail, but from the end of this bridge all the way over to here, I want to upgrade the rail line to the viaduct. And why do I want to do that? Well, the rail asset has these supports on the bottom. The truss supports where all the X's are on the screen. So I want to get rid of that, because then we can get a smoother pedestrian connection underneath here, which is probably fine. But if we can eliminate that using this type of rail. So if we do this right to here, we'll go right all the way through to where we meet up with the ground again. If we do that, it's going to look a lot nicer and as if it's been rejuvenated recently. Awesome. So now we have these very cool stations in place. I don't love this node here. Let's move that a little bit. Very good. And now we have a very unique little situation here where we have some cool pedestrian access points that can be made. So we don't forget about that. Let's add in those cool pedestrian connections right now. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off all the snapping, and we're going to go to home. So we're at the ground level, and we're going to say that, you know, in theory, people could walk all the way around this. So let's line up with the station itself. And oh, there's trees right there. Okay, I couldn't see because of the shadows. So if we go right like this, we should be able to cover the concrete. Yeah, look at that. That's fantastic. So we'll go right to about here. We'll do the same thing, following right beside the station this time, though. Probably even going into the station a little bit. Very good, very good. And then we'll go from the same angle of attack from this side. And then if we do that properly, oh, wrong way, the light post will be on the other side. There we go. Very good. And then we just need to connect this up. Cool. So let's grab that node there, bring it forward. Awesome. And now we can go underneath the rail to this side, continuing straight. So this time we might need to put our guidelines back on. There we go. And we'll do the same thing from this side, just that we have the access points already made. And then we might as well get other points of connection through here right in front of the doors. Very good. Okay, so now we have a really unique spot through here where we can add some other connection points as well. And I love the crossovers of all the height differences here. We have the rail going underneath, the metro going over top, the roads underneath, different types of bridges and railway connections and stuff. So yeah, this is really cool. We could even upgrade this bridge type because we have a couple of different options, I think. These are one lanes. Oh, okay. Yeah, never mind. We'll just stick with these ones here. Okay, so now we have those connection points already made, and that looks awesome. What is our recording time? Yeah, we're good for a bit more. So we need to get one more station out over here, and I want to potentially make this a rail junction with the metro connection, because if we can get like a cool little hub over here, that'd be really awesome, because then we could build like a town out this way, and that'd be a very useful connection to have. So we have a couple switchovers here. I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'll probably remove the switchovers and move them somewhere else, but because it's a double track. But let's take a look at the stations that we have available, because it would be really neat if we could get one that is for both metro and train, which is pretty much just a couple. We don't need one that's that big. So I think this one's going to be the best hub, like if we want it as a single unit, which is just a very old one. We haven't used this one in a long time, but it looks like there is, oh yeah, there's a road, and then there's a train, and then there's also the metro. So this is the metro side of things. And you know what? This could actually work out really, really well. We just slide this one right over into place. And then we have this cool road connection, which we could even connect this up into. Yeah, or this one, perhaps. Yeah, and then this one could swing right into here or something. And then we have a bunch of avenues running through, which we can move this one. This one, it was just kind of placed down a long time ago. This one, we could just kind of swing right in. I don't know. We can figure out the road networks in a bit. But yeah, let's add this in. This looks awesome. All right, so we have the rail connection through here, which is awesome. But then we need to figure out how we're going to get these trains across to the other track, which I don't think necessarily matters that much, because we do have a switch over here in between in the Y. That's not necessarily the best thing in the world. But it works because we do have a bunch of cross sections over here. So I wouldn't mind getting, one. Maybe we could say that this rail could connect up into that one, and then we need another junction point as well to cross over to the other side. But I guess it doesn't matter because it's right here. Okay, yeah, we're good. So let's just clean up this little node here and make things look a little nicer. There we go. And yeah, okay, so we'll just connect this up now. I know I deleted it and then I just rebuilt it right away, but that's okay. And then, yeah, they merge over here again. And we could technically get another train stop at the airport. I just thought it was fun to get a train connection on this line in particular, because if we go down this way, we follow the rails. It's a really easy connection to Hope, and then also onto the other side of the map, which can then go right downtown. We have this rail connection all the way through here, so this could be like an express to downtown route. Which would be really nice to do, and yeah, we could actually do that right now so I don't forget. So we have our train stop. There we go. Connect. And then we'll follow the train lines all the way through here. We'll turn down through here, get into Hope, and I think we're gonna bypass Hope because it is a little busy already. So, and it already has an express train down there, and there's also other ways to get there. So we'll then get right into here. Oh, it looks like there's actually already people waiting there, so let's remove that and we'll go down onto this one. Fantastic. So this works out really well as an end-of-line metro station as well. We could even get our metro service center out this way in this little pocket here, which would be a really cool little build. So let's connect up our metros now with our elevated line, which we had previously built. So I'm going to just grab it from this point here. There we go. There we go. Okay. And then I'm just going to bring it straight out at 180 degrees. And we'll see if we can connect up with our metro line like this. We're on a clean curve. That's pretty close, so let's just do it. We just missed it. We'll back it up a little bit. There we go. Close enough at least. And let's connect that up like that. And I know we kind of broke the right of way for this one, but this would have been a majorly important connection to make. And then what we'll do is we'll use our sloping tool and we'll slope it all the way from here to here, which was the height we needed it to get over top of these rails. And we connect that in, and look at this. That's fantastic. We could then go to ground level, which is something that would be fun to do at about this point here. So if we go out of network multi-tool and we just go back to our basic tools here, we can select upgrade ground level. All right, so now we can bring our metro line all the way out to here. So let's grab this blue line and we'll bring it all the way out to this stop over here. And technically it would be better if it was on this side. So let's hold shift and plop it down there. And then just because that's where the road is, so people would walk into that side and not having to cross the train tracks for no reason would be good. And then we'll get stops in on both sides here, and then stops in on both sides here. There we go. Are they there? Yes, they are. So now we've really upgraded this metro line and really added in some cool spots to build in. We've also allowed ourselves to upgrade this area in the future if we decide to go to the airport, or a really cool because technically we could do both. But it'd be cool to kind of get a metro service area out this way. And the reason is because we don't have one in the city. We have one in Fort Prairie, but we hadn't done that. So now we need to connect up these roads, and I am running out of time on my recording session today. It's a bit of a shorter episode, like I mentioned. So let's connect up these roads. So let's bring this one in through here. We'll connect it up into this pocket over here. So it needs to be a larger grade of road. So we can simply just upgrade this one to a 4 unit road, but let's make it a bit nicer of a road. Actually, we're going underneath the bridge here, so never mind. We'll do that in a minute. So we'll upgrade this one through there. That's not the one I wanted. There we go. Sometimes my mouse doesn't react to my clicks properly. And then we need to really sink this one down because that is very steep of a slope there. Even now it's still too steep. So let's bring this one down and we'll adjust the slope as necessary. But yeah, so we'll say that this is maybe an older road that ran alongside the rail. And oh, you know what? We could actually make it so that this one this road at one point went alongside these rails before this Y junction. So we could connect that in. That would be a really cool way of telling the story of this town. So this road here at one point was the road that ran alongside this road here. And so we can merge the two roads, the new avenue and then the old one. So let's get a dirt road going. And we'll get rural road. There we go, dirt. And we'll say that at one point, let's just go into freeform. Yeah, we are. It would have kind of gone like that, which would mean that we would need to adjust this road, which is a rural road. So this one would have been straight and then it would have curved to get to that point. Or maybe this one would have continued this way because, yeah, this Y wouldn't have existed, so it would have connected over there. Or maybe it's this road then. Yeah, that works. This dirt road right here. So we could then connect this one up like that. I'm not actually going to connect them. This is just for planning purposes. And then this one would connect in like that. So we could actually continue that through here. Well, it would probably be more like this. And then they redid the road junction. Kind of like what we have through here, which would be cool. And then this one maybe was an original revision of the road, which went like that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this works out great. Let's leave these as dirt roads, and then we can add in some industry buildings out this way on these older roads down the line, which would mean that this one would have continued out this way. There we go. Something like this. And then now we can bring in our 4 unit road, which we couldn't now technically upgrade to a nicer road. And then we'll merge it into that line of approach. So we'll click home like that. There we go. And then we'll delete this. And I'm just going to get a normal road, probably an industry road because it's probably not a very utilized road. We'll upgrade that. And then what we'll do is we'll just connect it up at a newer point because it's been since revised to about there. Yeah, that looks good. And now we need to slope this road entirely. Very cool. That's a very simple and fun way to kind of tell a bit of a history with your road networks. And now we can simply connect it up over here. So let's definitely get a nicer looking 4-lane road. And we'll just go with one with trees on the side, probably. So this is a light. It definitely doesn't need to be a light. There shouldn't be too much traffic. If anything, it's just going to be some small industry out this way. So we can easily remove that. We don't even really need crosswalks here. Not really that kind of spot. And then we could easily just add in just a quick little, whoops, wrong one, intersection marking tool here. And this will be because trucks can still technically cross here, but and turn, but it's not anything too crazy. So yeah, very simple like that. And we'll allow the trucks to cross there, of course. Okay, so we have this beautiful avenue here that connects up into this spot. I don't want crosswalks here either. So let's remove those. And we will add in the the lines here as well, just like we did last time. Very good. And with this, so people would come into here, we do need a spot where a crossing can be, but I don't believe there's a node in the middle here because it would obviously be a better spot in the middle. So maybe that is technically the best junction spot. However, I would imagine that a parking lot would be good out this way. And if we're going to have a metro hub, or that metro, we would need to draw in the potential routes where that's going to go, and then we can figure out where a parking lot could be. And then after that, we can find out where the crosswalk's going to go. So my goodness. So let's see. So this one would probably go in this direction. We'll probably just continue it straight over top of there. So that would be that. And then the metro service station would be in this corner over here. So if we have a parking lot, it would probably have to be we need to go underneath here and have the parking lot on the other side or something, or it would have to be over on this side, which is probably the safer option here. So let's just finish off the road here, and then we'll figure out where that parking lot would be. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense to try and squeeze anything else in here, especially if we have the metro line eventually going over here and then remerging with probably going underneath this road as well and following the rail. Yeah, it would be a little tight here. We could technically have like a bunch of parking spaces through here, but it doesn't really work in my opinion. So we would need a larger parking lot for a park and ride over here, which maybe then that would mean that I mean, we could technically have crosswalks as well over on this side and build up a little bit over here. But a parking lot would do better right off of here. So let's use our fun parking lot tool that works off of this. And we'll just do a quick little connection. So we'll connect up with this node. We'll swing out through here. And then we'll have our parking lot kind of go in this direction, right alongside the road itself. Yeah, that's really good. And then what we can do is we can just then switch the road type to the one right here, which I might actually revise again because I don't love this road type for here. Maybe we go with the one with trees in the middle so it looks a little nicer. We could run trees all the way down through here then too. So it looks, but it just looks a little awkward now, you know? So yeah, this is the crossing point. You can technically cross in the station as well, which is cool. But okay, yeah, let's just roll with it. This works. And then we'll just get some trees along here. And probably right at the end here, we're gonna need to go back to our concrete one because you won't be able to see if you're turning left, so. There we go. We could technically actually upgrade this little section here to a 5-lane road. If we go like this and then like this, we now have an extra turning lane, which is nice. And then something like that. There we go. And then if we just go into TMPE, we can then clean up the nodes here like that. Very easy to do. And this one would probably actually be a straight and a right. And same with this one. Okay, and then this one here is a dedicated right. That's what we need. Very good. All right. So now that we have this in place, let's add in the parking lot features. The park and ride features, I guess, because only people parking here will be people using the transit network. All right, so there's a bit of a glitch, and you can't see the parking lots on this side, but that's okay. We'll just clean this up a little bit. Let's see if we can use concrete to fill this little pocket. If we can't, then I'll just use some shrubs and stuff. As long as it looks clean, right? That's what really matters. And we're running that down the line here, where we can then meet it up with something if we want. Yeah, that looks a little rough there, which is always the trouble with Surface Painter. But we could run, say, a path. So we'll go with just, let's go with a zoo path with decorations, or without decorations to start off with. And because it is the best path in the game after all, right? We'll turn off our guidelines and node snapping, and then we'll go right where that concrete is causing us issues. And we'll just do that, and ooh. All right, so we have this little hub over here now, which is awesome to see. Ton of greenery, which is what I was looking for. But we also have this bike connection here. This one is a bike and pedestrian path. This one is just a bike path. The reason being is because, you know, technically people can just walk along the sidewalks here. But in this case, I was thinking that it'd be really cool to show that, you know, if we build a bike network that runs out this way, which, I mean, it might as well just be a shared path at that point, right? But this side would need a pedestrian little connection here because we have the crosswalk, so it might look nice. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna upgrade this side to the pedestrian path combo, because just why not, right? Awesome, so we can continue this out another time, but we do have our parking lot over here, which is very good. And because it is kind of an end of line station, but also that just looks really nice. I like that. I like all the trees and whatnot. We added a lot over here. Now let's connect up this area with roads. We're not going to really do any building because I'm running out of time. But yeah, so let's get the roads connecting in this area. So we could run a road that runs like straight across, right? That works out pretty good actually, because it'll service these two areas here. It'll give us access points from the highway area, also from this side here. We could then continue that road out into here. Oh wow, that actually lines up really good. Let's do that then. That's funny how good that works out. I did not plan that, I promise. Yeah, you know what? This does work out a little too well. I might switch it up how this connects, because we already added some lore as to what was happening with that one. So yeah, let's grab our normal road here and let's go back to home now because we want to adjust the height. And then we'll just kind of curve out this way, following the same kind of slight trajectory. And then we'll just slide right into about here at a somewhat 90-degree angle. 89% is pretty darn good. And then what we'll do is we'll just use our favorite tool of the episode, which is the sloping tool, and we'll go slope from here to here. We'll see how far that is. If we can get below 4, that would be awesome. Okay, that's fine. If we slope it to right there, 3.5, and then from this point here, if this is pretty flat, that'd be awesome. Yeah, very good. All right. Love that for us. We added in some awesome connections, and then we just need to finish this one off, and then we'll connect up the pedestrian paths if they don't connect up. And we'll go straight from here, and we'll just see if we can connect up as straight as possible. yeah, this road here should totally flow through and have a flush connection with this one. So if we can get a straight piece right there, and then if we get a straight road right here, let's see how we can connect these up. That would be awesome if we can maintain this grid. I'm not sure where we are exactly on the grid, but let's create a little teeny grid off of this. So let's just bring this one over like that. And this is where we need it to be. Very good. Well, it doesn't need to be right there, but I just needed these two road pieces in. And then we can figure out how we want the grid shaped, but we really need this road to connect up. All right, so we've added in a lot of zoning over here that we can build up another day because we were just focusing on the metro today. But I just really wanted to get that in there so we can kind of show where the grid is going to go, and then also that we have these awesome road connections, which I guess I should have continued with this and gotten a road right over here. Actually, I don't know. Maybe we'll make this into a park or something, and we'll see how we connect up onto the other side another time. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten about that secret little thing I mentioned at the beginning of the episode on what we're going to be doing out that way by this metro station, which we'll get to in a moment because we just need to connect up with this here. So a reminder that we can access this from both sides. So if we just get a clean road connection through here, that'd be nice. There we go. Oops, wrong road type. We'll use the one with parking. There we go. I'm not going to do nearly as much of a grid as we did last time, and what I'm about to do is totally subject to change. But I just really wanted to get this metro connection technically working before I leave you today. So I'm just going to click that in right there, and technically that is working now. And then from this side here, we're going to need a junction point to get into the neighborhood. So I'm going to make this a bit of a larger road. And now we have access to Dexter, which is awesome. It's going to be a great neighborhood over here. And then we have access to the bougie Upper Oracle Lake over here. Then we have our Metro Service Center over on this side. And then with this small space here, I was thinking it would be really cool to get a zoo. It'd be a really unique little challenge here. We're definitely going to move this road a bit closer to the highway, give us a bit more space, but also with our landfill over here, our future landfill, the Metro Service Station, I thought that it would be really unique to get a bit of a zoo over here. We don't have a zoo earmarked on the map, so I'm just going to mark this as a zoo. So this is something that I really want to do soon, so I'm not sure when we're going to get to it, but I hope to get to it soon. And then this way we also have the bougie area over here, but with the shops and whatnot, but you could technically walk into the zoo. I'm leaning more towards this side of the area for the zoo, and we'll kind of dilute the zoo, because, you know, there's smells involved with the zoo, into this neighborhood with some residential connections, or this park. Yeah, let's do that. It's not going to be a huge zoo. It might not even be a 5-star zoo, but I thought it'd be really unique to get a zoo out in this area. I was thinking about getting it on this side, but it made more sense for the metro stop to be over here. I mean, technically we could get a bridge over on this side, so, you know, we'll see how it works out when we decide to do it, because the zoo assets are actually pretty large. Let's just grab this one here. Actually, you know what? We could totally fit all the stuff in. Yeah, we can totally fit everything in. We're not going to get any water-based zoo assets at all, but I was thinking that with this road here underneath everything, this would be like the road access into the zoo. With the parking and whatnot, it would be over here, and then we'll have the park area kind of diluting the bougie-ness out over on this way. We can get the parking over here or something like that. And then we have all the space for the zoo, and then the metro service center would really only take up, let's kind of predict where this was going to be. So it would probably go straight a little bit before turning into the metro service center, which would be like this, and probably stopping right there. And that gives us space for the zoo, which I guess technically we could use this parking lot to go all the way up against this. All right, so this is kind of how things are going to work then with this area. So we have a park over here, we have the zoo, and then we have the metro service center, which gives us spots over here for some residential and over here and whatnot. But if you made it this far, you won a privilege to choose the name of this station, which would be really awesome if that could happen. But then also it would be really awesome. Wow, there's a lot of trains. Okay. Yes, 6. No. We only need like 2 max for now. So yeah, you can name this station, which I can throw down the name in this kind of area. Since you're legends, you listened and watched so long into the video. And then we also have this one here, which will just be the name of the park, but it will be the name of the station as well in Upper Oracle Lake. And then we have this station over here, which simply could just be Dexter Station. But if you have something that is better than that, then let me know. So without further ado, folks, thanks for hanging out with me today while we just built a metro line. Nothing too fancy today, but you know, a fun video to make regardless. And we have some really fun planning as well. So let me know if you have name suggestions for the metros. And with that, let's go into a cool view where we can get a unique little shot of the city. So with something like this, that ends us with a good screenshot. And I hope you have a wonderful day, folks. I will talk to you soon. Peace out.